Good morning everyone. I hope in the first lecture you have understood that what is actually machine learning, what are the real life applications of machine learning that we see in our day-to-day life, like Netflix recommendation, okay, product recommendations that you see. Okay, I hope you have understood what is machine learning. In this, that is second lecture, we will be discussing about types of machine learning. Okay, we'll explore different types of machine learning. In the previous video, we understood what machine learning is and how it works. Now, the next step is to understand the machine learning is not just one technique, it is divided into different types on how learning happens. There are three main types of machine learning, that is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Each type has its own way of learning and solving the problem. So, understanding these types is very important because different problems require different approaches. For example, you want to predict the prices, you want to group customers, or train a game playing AI. So you can see that all of them use different type of machine learning. Okay, in this video we will understand each type in a simple and intuitive way along with examples so you can clearly see how they work. So let's start with first type, that is supervised. What is supervised learning? Okay, commonly used, it is one of the most commonly used type of machine learning, and that is called supervised learning. In supervised learning, the model is trained using labeled data. Labeled data means that for every input we already know the correct output. Okay, so basically we give the system examples where both input and output are provided. The model studies these examples and learns the relationship between input and output. For example, imagine we want to detect spam emails. We provide emails as input and we label them as spam or not spam. The model learns from these examples and can later predict whether the new email that we are sending is spam or not. Okay, there are two types of problem in supervised learning, that is classification and regression. So classification is where the output is category like spam or not spam, and then we have regression where the output is a number like predicting house prices. Okay, so supervised learning works like I said earlier, that we give it input and output and then it tries to understand that which can be categorized into which part. So in simple terms, supervised learning is about learning from unknown answers to make future predictions. You know input and output, and once you learn it, on the basis of that you make predictions. So coming on to the next slide, we will discuss what is unsupervised learning. Okay, so in unsupervised learning, the model is trained using data that has no labels. This means we only provide input data, but we don't tell the system what the correct output is. So, unlike supervised learning, where we had both input and output, here we only have input data. The system has to figure out pattern on its own. The main goal of unsupervised learning is to find hidden patterns or structure in the data. It tries to group similar data points together. So let's take an example of customer segmentation. Imagine a company has data about customers, like age of the customer, how much money they spend, okay, and their interest. So there are no labels. The model automatically groups customer in different categories, like those people who spend a lot of money, okay, to buy the stuffs. Then there are also people who don't want to spend a lot of money, they are low spenders, or they can be also categorized into frequent buyers, people who buy frequently. So you can say that here the model is discovering pattern without any guidance because we only have input. So in simple terms, unsupervised learning is about finding hidden patterns in data without knowing the correct answer. So now we will learn about, okay, third type of machine learning, that is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is very different from the other types. Here the model learns by interacting with an environment and receiving feedback in the form of rewards or penalties. So think of it like training a pet dog. Okay, when the dog does something right, you give it a reward, and when it does something wrong, you don't reward it. Over time, the dog learns what actions are correct. That's exactly how reinforcement learning works. The model takes an action, observes the result, and then receives feedback, either a reward or a penalty. Based on this feedback, it improves its future action. So, reinforcement learning is used in game playing AI like chess or video games. It can be used in robotics, where machine learns to move or perform tasks, self-driving cars, where system learns to make driving decisions. So, we have action, then we have environment, and then reward, and from that it is learning, and this loop continues until model learns best possible behavior. So in simple terms, reinforcement learning is about learning through trial and error using rewards and penalties. let's let's discuss about the last part of the video, that is comparison and summary part. Okay, so in supervised learning, we use labeled data, meaning both input and correct output is given. The model learns from these examples, and based on that, it makes prediction. In unsupervised learning, we only have input data, no labels, no correct answers. The model finds hidden patterns and group data automatically. And in reinforcement learning, the model learns through interaction using rewards and penalties to improve its action over time. So the key difference is supervised learning learns from known answers. Unsupervised learning discovers pattern on its own, and reinforcement learning learns from the feedback. And in real world applications, we choose the type of machine learning based on the problem we are trying to solve. In the next video, we will start diving deeper into supervised learning, beginning with regression and classification. So let's continue with and build your understanding step by step. I'm grateful to all of you for watching this video, and you have come till this part of video. So I will like to say you thank you. If you like the video, do comment on it, do like it, and surely come for the lecture 3. This was lecture 2. So thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much.